'Twas the week of Christmas, and all throughout the land, people were like, "The fuck, Christmas already? Goddamn! Do we have all the gifts? And what are we? Are we going to your mom's? What are we doing? It's crazy." Should be a good one today. And don't you worry. Don't you worry at all. I'm on my way. Woo, yeah. You know, honestly, it's a little tricky to fly in the snow. You know, because it's just like coming in at you, hitting you in the dome piece, and etc., etc. What's up? How's everybody doing? Welcome to Monday. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the show. We've got a lot to get into, man. I want to talk a lot about Avatar. You know, saw Avatar on Saturday. I quite enjoyed it, but there's like a lot of discussions to get into about Avatar. Like, was it really that good? Is it actually gonna make that $2 billion? Did it change cinema? Did it save the cinematic experience? Or is James Cameron just flatly wrong about modern audiences? I think that it's a really interesting discussion to have because I've got some complicated thoughts about the movie. I mean, you know, and we will get into all of that, of course, but we're also getting wrapped back into some freaking James Gunn DCU conversations. I cannot fucking believe that he might actually just keep all of his shit. I might be out. Like I'm out. So I want to talk about that with you guys as well. I'm pulling into the tower. I'll see you in a second. Feeling up in ya. It's Christmas time. It's Christmas time. Motherfucking Christmas time. Let's fucking get it. Presents, hot cocoa, family, Christmas tree under the stocking. All of it. I want it all. Yeah. All right. Josh just killed my Christmas spirit. Sorry. My bad. It's my bad on that one, Mas. What's up, everybody, and welcome to the stream. Hope you guys are doing well. Should be a good conversation today. I definitely want to get into it with you and just kind of see where you guys are at with all of this. Pretty wild stuff going on. Just out of curiosity, thank you, Purple. I got it. I actually just did it, but I appreciate the shout out. A lot of different things going on here. I think the main thing that I got to say is just from a show notes perspective, this week should be pretty normal, except I am going to take Friday off of streaming just to kind of really get ready for the holiday weekend and enjoy all of that. And I may have to not... Damn, it's a little loud in my ear, chat, with the fucking music and shit. Okay, thank you. I may have to take next Tuesday off as well. I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm trying to figure out some plans or whatever. But this week should be pretty normal. A lot of fun videos. I have a big video coming out about the Fantastic Four. Yesterday, there was just rapid fire, My Time to Shine just went crazy with a bunch of Fantastic Four leaks. And so I have a big video coming out for you guys today, kind of exploring all of that and talking about what I think is going on with the Fantastic Four. I may do a video about this James Gunn stuff. I really hope it's not true, but we'll talk about it in a second. But other than that, we'll just be keeping our eye out for some fun, nerdy things to talk about, kind of get back to our regularly scheduled content, and we'll stream all throughout the week. And yeah, so no stream on Friday. We'll do gambling on Thursday. But other than that, should be a pretty normal week. And then just look out next week because I might have to miss Tuesday. I'm trying to plan like a thing with some of my homies, man. Like a big day where we just play Magic the Gathering all day, basically. Like, it is what it is. That's what I want to do. It's what I'd like to do. To have a little break and have some fun. So, all right, let's kind of get into it. First question I want to ask the chat. Did y'all see Avatar? Throw a 1 into the chat if you saw Avatar, The Way of Water, this weekend. Obviously, it had a massive opening weekend. I think it underperformed just a little bit in the United States. So I will. It looks like a lot of people saw it. That's great. I mean, that's awesome. I will talk spoilers about the movie, but we'll try to keep that to like sort of a succinct part of the stream because I know not everybody wants spoilers or whatever. But I want to talk about the movie itself because I think it's like, I don't know if we can have this discussion without talking about the film and spoiling some aspects of the movie. There's like angles here, man, like the business side of it and then just the entertainment factor, you know, and it just seems like since maybe 2020, the movie theater business and just movies in general have just plainly not performed the way that they had prior, and we may just be in a completely different environment with like consumer behavior, etc., etc. I actually think, and I wonder what you guys think about this as well, I think it's pretty fucking crazy that Wakanda Forever is going to close out at around 800 million. It's done. Like, it's ending its theatrical run, I believe. Like, somebody double check me on this, but Wakanda Forever made 800 million. And that's a whole story in and of itself, I think, because I think that's, unless I'm mistaken, I believe that's 500 million less than the first movie, right? Because didn't the first one kind of go out at like 1.3? Didn't it go out at 1.3? Somebody help me. Chat, check me on this, okay? Yeah, 786 million is the total, right? Guys, that's 150 million less than Multiverse of Madness. That's crazy. Like, I know we live in, you know, different times and, you know, consumer behavior is changing, etc., etc. But I don't know how that's not an L. You know, and it's hard to say, right? Like, Josh, how can you say $800 million is an L? Because it made 500, maybe close to 600 million less than the first movie. It made 150 million less than the highest grossing Marvel film of the year, which didn't even crack $1 billion. Now, Multiverse of Madness is so close. It's like 950. You know what I mean? No China. That's true. That's true. And that's obviously fair. But I mean, come on. We're going to act like that's not surprising. Like, are we really going to act like that's not a little concerning? Like, we had billion-dollar movies this year. You had the Jurassic World movie. You had Top Gun Maverick. Like, I don't know, man. Like, that's a, like, and I continue to say this, and you know, like, I did a video on Saturday. I think a lot of people got triggered just by like the thumbnail or whatever. But it's like, for me, there are problems. There are problems with Marvel and things that they need to adjust. Luckily, I think they are adjusting to them. I do think the future is bright for Marvel, but make no mistake about it, that's weird, bruh. Like, that is weird to me. Like, I thought it would at least do 900, like get close to Multiverse of Madness, etc., etc. And also, why did it end its theatrical release? Because they want to do digital before Christmas? Is that kind of what the thing is? Like, geez, man. It's a weird time right now, right? It is a weird time right now, okay? So, dinos and aeroplanes. Can you imagine if they made a movie about dinosaurs doing aeroplane missions? Yeah, Ross, holiday push would be great. Josh is overreacting as usual. God damn. Like, I understand the perspective, man, but like, come on, bro. Like, what are you talking about? I'm overreacting. I'm not up here saying it's over. I literally just said it's probably going to be okay. It's a data point, and it's not a good data point. Like, come on, man. Like, take the head out of the sand a little bit here. Is that 65 movie Dinos and Aeroplanes? Maybe, possibly. Okay. Now, here's the next question that I want to ask the chat. What would you rate Avatar 2 out of 10 if you saw it? What would you rate it? What score would you give it out of 10? And I guess here's the real question. Let me try to do this. Let's do this as a poll. Because this is kind of the question to me. Was Avatar 2 the most entertaining movie you saw this year? I think that's really the question. Yeah, no? That's really the question, I think. And if you haven't seen it, just don't vote in the poll. You know, it'll skew the numbers. Because, you know, to me, I'll sort of take you through my experience with watching Avatar 2. I love the first Avatar. Let's do a little story here. Let's give it a little background. Let's fill in the lore, etc., etc. I love the first Avatar. I saw the first Avatar like 5 times in theaters. I was in film school at the time. I absolutely just was obsessed with the 3D tech, how he created an experience, right? He didn't want to just make a movie. He wanted to kind of create an experience. And going into Avatar 2, you guys know, if you've been watching, I've been pretty positive about the movie for a long, long time. In fact, I sort of dug my heels in recently and said, Avatar 2 will make $2 billion. And I'm saying it now. Okay? And then the buzz going into Avatar was pretty good. A lot of people saying, this is mind-blowing. You've never seen anything like it. It's absolutely incredible. Must-see experience. All of these different things, okay? So I got hyped, bro. Like, I got hyped for Avatar 2, okay? And although I really enjoyed the movie, it did not do for me what I thought it would do for me, okay? Now, again, here we're going to try to do this crazy thing on the internet and talk with what's known as nuance. So here we go. Everybody get fucking mad and make your opinions and get triggered by every little thing I say. God damn it! I don't think it's the most entertaining movie I saw this year. I don't even think it's necessarily as entertaining as the first movie. Yeah, I'm going to say it. Okay? Now, I loved the film, though, and there was a lot of stuff that happens in the movie that's really, really good. But you know what it really is? This movie is just a setup for the third movie. Like, this movie doesn't give you all the crazy shit that I think you're looking for when you go into it. It's teasing all the crazy shit for the next movie. This movie's really intimate. It's like, it really focuses on family and, you know, him like moving it as a tribe. I did think that what's his name? Quaritch, whatever that guy's name is, the clone, the Avatar clone, really interesting, compelling. The whole thing with Spider and him, really interesting. His daughter, or rather the adopted daughter, she was really interesting, and she's being set up as something like an Anakin or a Masonic figure of sorts or whatever. But there was a moment in the movie where I realized, oh, so the big fight is going to be making sure this team of fishermen doesn't kill the whales. And it was at that moment that I realized this is not the fucking movie I thought it was going to be. Okay? No hate. No hate. Like, it's good, but like that's the big fight. You know what I mean? And so like, look, man, at the end of the day, like, you know, we heard all these different things from James Cameron going into the film. Like, and I really, really like James Cameron, but I think he was talking about like having a writer's room and having the writer's room reverse engineer all the things that worked from the first movie to try to really create something that would resonate at the same level. And I think it's like too similar to the first movie. I think it's too similar to the first movie. It doesn't actually open up the big ideas enough for me personally, you know? Like the Quaritch clone situation, I thought, wow, like that's really interesting. And I thought, wow, like how could they do this? Because I didn't know like how they were going to do it. They just explained it with exposition and a weird scene with his prior self, you know? And I'm like, damn, like that's a missed opportunity. Like you could have done something really crazy with that. You know, even like there's stuff that I really wanted to see that happens off camera, like him actually, you know, taking over the flying thing or whatever. And it's just at the end of the day, although it's beautiful, and I thought the spectacle was really, really cool, bro. It's not this crazy thing that's going to change cinema. I don't even think the 3D, like the 3D is really cool in certain spots for sure. But I don't think the 3D is like this game-changing, like, oh shit, I want to see everything in 3D now type of a situation. The movie just feels like kind of a very good movie, but I just don't know that it's this crazy, like, oh my God, must-see experience that I was sort of sold for. I'm also not a fan of I think it's 60 frames a second, actually, Bismo. It could be 48, but I thought it was 60 frames a second. And I got to say, I did not enjoy the frame rate either. I didn't enjoy the frame rate. I was like, this is weird, and it's going to be weird the entire time. And it stopped me from being able to be completely immersed in the film. Now, having said all of that, like, it's a really good movie. Like, you cannot sit there and say it's not a good movie. It's a really good movie. But I think part of the problem was it's not positioned to be just a good movie, right? Because, like, if this thing was just positioned to be, like, a really good movie, and if it had happened a lot sooner, a lot closer to the first Avatar, then maybe, like, Avatar as a brand and, like, just Avatar in general would be, like, crazy, and people would be like, whoa, like, Avatar, let's go, like, this is awesome, because it is a really good sequel. And part of the reason it's such a good sequel is that it sets up the potential of the third movie to be very, very epic and insane, right? But, like, Cameron's saying that it has to be fourth or third all time. You know, Cameron, like, saying all this stuff, like, and even the shots that he takes at Marvel in these different things, it's odd because audiences are just, it's different now, right? It's different now. So my take on it, man, is like, it's just plainly not the insane experience that I thought it would be, but it's also a really, really good movie. And as somebody that really enjoyed the first Avatar, I liked it a lot. I want to see it again. And I'm excited to see the third one. The question is going to be, is this movie and the next one going to be profitable enough for them to make, you know, Avatar 4 and 5, all this other crazy stuff? I think Cameron promised like 5 movies at one time, right? So I guess we'll just see, which kind of takes us to the actual box office. So I want to go over this article in Variety, and then I'll give you my thoughts, because it could absolutely still dominate, and it could still get to $2 billion. It has like no competition until Quantumania, and it is really, really cool. And with the premium screens and with the, you know, 3D and things of that nature, like it could really, really make an insane amount of freaking money. But let's read this article here and see what Variety is saying about this opening take, and just kind of about where we think we'll go from here, okay? Avatar 2 needs to become a box office juggernaut. Is $2 billion within reach? Director James Cameron has been clear about the stakes for his long-delayed sequel, Avatar: The Way of Water. The science fiction epic is so expensive, he says, it represents the worst business case in movie history, meaning it needs to become one of the 3 or 4 top-grossing movies of all time just to break even. I don't think that that's actually the case. A lot of people are saying if it gets to $1 billion or just over $1 billion, it'll break even. You know, maybe like 1.3 or 1.4 or something like that. But regardless, like, he has not been shy about how fucking crazy the situation is with Avatar, right? By that metric, The Way of Water needs to clear $2 billion to justify its price tag to please Disney, which holds the rights to Avatar after acquiring 20th Century Fox in 2019. The studio spent a jaw-dropping $350 million to produce and even more to market The Grand Return to Pandora, making it one of the costliest tentpoles ever. Only 5 movies in history, 2009's Avatar, Avengers Endgame, Titanic, Star Wars The Force Awakens, and Infinity War, have surpassed the $2 billion mark. And those were in the best of conditions. In Pandy time, it'll be that much harder. Even as the sequel to the highest grossing movie of all time does The Way of Water have what it takes to be the 6th. Avatar: The Way of Water debuted to $134 million in North America and $435 million globally over the weekend. A solid start, despite falling short of expectations. It stands as the 3rd biggest global opening weekend since the Pandy, following Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness and Spider-Man No Way Home. Do you fucking remember that Spider-Man No Way Home made $600 million in an opening weekend? What? That's crazy. Yet only one of those films, The Spidey Adventure, managed to reach the $1 billion mark with $1.9 billion worldwide. It got so close to 2. Even with its towering debut as impressive legs at the box office, No Way Home couldn't conquer the elusive $2 billion club, and just 2 others in the Rona time, Top Gun Maverick and Jurassic World Domination, had enough staying power to hit $1 billion. James Cameron is setting the bar so high for himself, says Paul Derg, oh God, Derg. I'm not even gonna try, brother. A senior ComScore analyst who believes Hollywood has gotten overly accustomed to Marvel-sized opening weekends, unlike those superhero adventures, which often start strong, usually to the tune of 180 or 200 million, and falling sharply in the second weekend. Avatar doesn't have the kind of spoiler warning that demand it's seen as soon as possible. That is true. Yes, industry experts were expecting Way of Water to make more to start. But Paul says the focusing on the film's domestic debut misses the point of Cameron's entire career. It's never been about opening weekend for him. This is true. They're probably going to now talk about the first movie. To his point, Cameron's biggest films, Avatar and Titanic, started slower at the box office and built huge audiences over time. The first Avatar opened with a decent but hardly dazzling 77 million domestic more than a decade ago. That was also a record at the time, though. But thanks to pricey 3D tickets and repeat viewings, the film managed to draw crowds for months, eventually climbing to 760 million in North America and then more than 2 billion internationally. Titanic 2 didn't notch records with its 28 million debut in 1997, but the romantic disaster story was unparalleled in its staying power, becoming the first movie ever to cross $1 billion. Cameron tends to play the long game at the box office. That's absolutely fair, and this is an option still available to the film. The film's second weekend gross will give a strong indication of what's to come, says Paul. I can't pronounce your name, Paul. I'm sorry. The 3rd, 4th, 5th weekend will be key. Even with strong legs, it's unlikely The Way of Water is going to replicate the pattern of its predecessor, which ended its run nearly 10 times its opening weekend haul. Industry insiders believe the follow-up is primed to earn 4 times its opening weekend sales, which would put the domestic return at roughly $536 million. Of course, the final tally could be higher or lower, depending on what repeat business and word of mouth. Avatar: The Way of Water has been well received, but it's hardly received a rapturous "you gotta see it" notices that propelled the original to become a sensation. I agree with that. Like, real talk, especially because the 3D is expensive. Like, I'm not going out there to people and telling them, like, you've got to see Avatar: Way of Water. Like, I'm just not. Like, it's cool, but honestly, it would be just as cool streaming. Like, and I know some people are going to, like, freak out or get triggered by that. But, bro, I'm telling you right now, the OLED screen, to get those colors to really pop, I'd literally rather do that than go see it in 3D again. You know what I mean? A lot of 3D, especially like where I'm at, we don't even have an IMAX screen. right? So I have to see it on like a regular screen, and the 3D in a regular screen, it's not the same, right? And after seeing it, like, there's a part of me that wants to go see it in IMAX and see like the craziest, the actual experience. But I'd be way more compelled to do that if the movie itself was so much bigger in its scale. It's not. It's just, and I love the family shit, right? I just had a child. The family shit hit me. I cried watching Avatar. That shit was very good, but it's not the fucking spectacle that the first one was. It's just not. It doesn't, like, and I know this, you might disagree. Some people are like, no, I thought it was absolutely incredible. Bro, I'm just going to tell you, I don't think so. From a visual perspective, I don't think so. I just don't. Now, some ticket buyers have been waiting 13 long and hard years to return to Pandora, and others may feel a cultural obligation to catch up with the Na'vi, given the pedigree of the first film. But it needs the average moviegoer, the one who may not have gone to theaters to see Top Gun Maverick without the crazy hype, to feel like The Way of Water needs to be seen on the big screen. Timing looks like it'll be in the favor of the film. There's almost zero competition throughout the rest of the year, and the upcoming Christmas season is usually the busiest time to go to the multiplex. Analysts expect the movie to put up big numbers during the week, and like the original, revenue for Avatar 2 will be goosed by IMAX and 3D tickets, which are costlier. We're also in a fucking recession, bro. Like, we're also literally at like one of the hardest economic times that people have faced at least since 2008, maybe even beyond that, right? So can you really justify going to see it in 3D multiple times? Like, I don't know, man. Yeah, so the movie is set up for a very strong run through the holidays, says David A. Gross, who runs a movie consulting firm Franchise Entertainment Research. However, the film faces several major obstacles, including its 3 hours and 12 runtime. Shit's way too long, bro. I'm just going to say it. Shit's way too long. Will moviegoers have the stamina to return 3 or 4 or even 5 viewings? Moviegoers, it won't be playing. Moreover, it won't be playing in Russia, where the original film grossed $116 million. And though Chinese cinemas have access to the film, the country's box office has been struggling because they're all still dealing with the Rona, right? So, yeah, it's a complicated story. It's a complicated situation for the movie, right? And I just got to say, like, I love James Cameron. I think he's a brilliant filmmaker. And there's like this huge measure of respect that I have for this movie because it's not just spectacle. It's actually just a great story with really cool characters, a lot of heart, really emotional ride, like surprisingly emotional. And I've got a lot of respect for him making the movie he wanted to make. It's a very George Lucas thing to do. But, bro, like, I don't know. This, I think, will be a massive data point for Hollywood moving forward. And it is possible, in the best case scenario, that this movie absolutely crushes. And studios maybe learn the lesson of taking their time, actually really putting in a lot of effort from the writing and from the production perspective, not just churning stuff out, right? It's possible that that lesson will be learned and that maybe Hollywood just kind of goes in that direction. And I think that would be a very positive thing. But it's also possible that this movie loses Disney like a lot of money. And it's possible that you could get the third one and that's it, right? And then they sort of just have to like close it up in the third one, which I think would be a bummer because I'd like to see a lot more of the universe and of the franchise. I just can't help but think that there were maybe some errors in judgment made. And it's also possible that Cameron chose this time, maybe the worst possible time, to try to like sort of plant his flag in the ground and say like, no, I'm that guy. You know what I mean? So it's a fascinating story, man. Again, I really like the movie, But I just got to be real with you. Like I was thinking about like, what do I want to say? Like, what do I want to talk about with regards to the movie? And I'm sure like it seems like I'm really negative on the film. I'm not. Like I absolutely loved it. There was incredible moments. I really, really liked the dynamic. The family shit was awesome. The action is really cool. There's a couple of like deaths and like fun things in the movie that I thought were incredible, but I think it was a little overhyped. You know, I think it was a little overhyped. I don't even know if I'll watch it again in theaters. Part of that does have to do with the 3-hour runtime. I mean, dude, who's got time to drive to a theater and spend over 3 hours in the theater? Like, I'm just not sure, man. Like, I honestly don't know if I'll see it again in theaters at all. Part of that, of course, is that I'm busy. We got the kid and all these different things, but it's like, whew, I don't know. I don't know, ladies and gentle beings. I don't know. Masma says, I didn't expect to get triggered today, but here we are. I know, isn't that funny? We've flipped a little bit, though, because I think you were a little bit more skeptical going in. Now you're a big fan, or am I getting that wrong? So now movies are too long. You don't say that. You don't say that. Let's not point out all the hypocrisies for me, okay? Let's not talk about, I'm not talking out of both sides of my mouth. But no, that shit's way too long, bro. The other thing that is like crazy about it is like I don't think it needs to be this long, bro. Like I don't see it. I'm like, yeah, cool. Learn that water shit, bro. You know what I mean? Like, learn that water shit, bro. You know? I don't know. I feel like there's some fat on the bone. I don't think it's all lean, man. You know what I mean? I don't think you need all that shit. Okay, so how about this? Let's do Q&A. Do you think... How do I word this? Because I just want to know. I want to get into like what you guys think about it. What are your thoughts on Avatar 2? And we'll definitely get into all of the super chats and member chats as well. But I'm going to open up a Q&A in the chat so that everybody can just put their thoughts in there. And let's linger on this for a second. You know, I just said a lot of stuff. I'm sure you guys maybe have different opinions or whatever. So just throw it in there. We'll go over it. Then we'll talk a little about the James Gunn stuff. And then we'll get into Q&A for that. Who will see it in theaters? Do you hate stories, Josh? Ha 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 ha. I hate stories. I hate bricks. I hate screws. Okay? The amount of all that shit. Here, let me throw you an incredible line from the movie at you guys right now. I know you guys are all asking yourself the same question. Why so blue? That's an actual line from the movie. Definitely have some pacing and typical evil bad guy problems, but overall, Avatar was an experience. I thought Telecon was lit, but Avatar put it to shame. 8.5 out of 10. Interesting take. Do the kids have too much screen time story? The kids have an incredible amount of screen time. I actually think it works. Like, it's a functionally good film. It's just not the fucking crazy spectacle. Like, I wanted to see, like, sky people and avatars, like, fucking going at it, like, crazy shit. I don't feel like this movie really ups the ante. Like, that's kind of, what I'm saying. Also, too, you know what the main point of the movie is? And this shit was frustrating, but probably true. The main point of the movie is kids don't listen. And I was just, like, thinking about it, and I'm like, damn it. Like, we're going to go through so much shit with Liam, aren't we? But that's the main point. Kids don't listen. I would give it a 6 out of 10. I'd give it higher than a 6 out of 10, but like legitimately, I enjoyed a lot of other movies more than Avatar. Like, I don't know, man. Like, there's a mismatch here between like, I think the hype and what it was. Fascinating accomplishment of VFX. Besides that, meh. Good but not great. Haven't seen it yet, but I'm not too upset about that fact. If this was a Marvel movie and I missed it opening weekend, it'd be pure rage. Interesting. Let's see here. What do you think about 3 times third act? What do you think about 3 times third act? I'm not sure what that means, brother. 6.5, the plot was pushed forward by the kids doing something stupid and eventually getting in trouble like 8 times. It is visually stunning, but that's about it. Haven't seen it. Don't want to now. Oh, no! I see it in the theater if my family wants to. Heard that. I think you've got it right. Thanks, man. Amazing. Too long. Won't see it in theaters. Josh doesn't like story. Nah, 3.5 hours is damned long for Space Pocahontas. A little bit. Leon says, I haven't seen it yet, but I plan to eventually. The 3-hour mark isn't a big deal to me because I love movies. So you saying it was too long is really funny. Fair. The new flutist says, it was worth the watch and I wasn't bored, but it was fatiguing because of the length and strain on the eyes. I think it will affect the rewatching sales. Yeah, that's fair. It's a little bit of every James Cameron film ever made all rolled into one. And maybe James Cameron wants a more eco slant in these movies. I'm not sure what you mean about the eco slant. Maybe you're just saying like the Ferngully aspect of it or whatever. But yeah, he plays his greatest hits in this movie. Like there's some Titanic shit, there's some Aliens 2 shit. Like it's cool. And some of that stuff's like awesome. But it's not, I don't know how to explain it, man. Like this is a great issue of like a single character comic. This is not an event. This is not a comic book event. You know what I mean? A setup film, almost Empire-esque. Crazy that I had to see Wakanda Forever the next day, but I don't know if I'll see this again in theaters anytime soon. Still a 9 out of 10 for me, but overhyped for show. I think that's a good take, man. Like, I think that's the take. I loved it. The visuals were better than the story, but the story idea was meh/weird, but it pretty much well done. Yeah, I mean, it's a very functional movie. Like, he's really good at putting these stories together. I absolutely had a blast with the movie. Yes, story bits were a bit repetitive of the first movie, especially the whole, now this is the most valuable resource in the universe. I know, right? But, you know, whatever. John Rand says, I guess I'm biased, but I was never invested in the Blue Cat people that fuck with their tails. I'd watch it when it's on Disney+. I think a lot of people will watch it on Disney+, and I think it deserves to be watched, but it's a product at the end of the day. It was a product created to like do massive numbers in the theater, you know, and a little bit of this is just not Cameron's fault at all. Like the world is just different, right? Let's see here. Too similar to the first one to be good, although as a standalone, it's awesome. Jedi Mike says, I think Avatar 2 was okay on the 7 Seas of Sin. I'd rather see the Batman and would look forward to the Batman 2 more. Also, Santa and Meg and I will talk Avatar/Star Wars prequels. Sick. And yeah, I mean, frankly, I can't believe it, but yeah, man, the Batman, I don't know. Like, let's not go there. Does Disney own Avatar? If not, do you think they will scoop it up now? They do own it. Yeah, they purchased it when they got all the Fox IP. Too long. I found the story too similar to the first film. Too much action, not enough substance. Too many evil bad guy tropes. Little bit. I dug Avatar 2 way more than the first one. 8 out of 10. Need more Jake Sully, though. Interesting. I love Sigourney's character in the movie. There were some editing issues in the beginning you don't understand, but a great film nonetheless. That's fair. It was mainly just average. Story was samey with the first one, and it was too slow in points. I feel as though they could have cut about 45 minutes, and it would have been better overall. 7 out of 10, not top 10. Damn. What's the point of the movie? Kids don't listen. Wow, what a top-tier movie, Kappa. I mean, yeah. Kid got captured 3 times and they got rescued 3 times. I know. And there's even a part where she says, the one daughter says, I can't believe I'm handcuffed again. And I was just like, But whatever. Avatar isn't enough to build a franchise or legacy IP because it's always been about CGI effects and hype. Outside of Terminator, Cameron really can't make his mark. Whoa, that's a hot take, brother. That's a hot take. I don't know if I agree. I just feel like this movie's too much of a setup. Like he's hiding all the dope shit for the third one. There's just like issues I have with it. But I mean, you know, you can have your take. It's cool. Chris B says IMAX 3D is cool, but it's not worth $30. It's a great movie with some silly dialogue. And you're right, not the spectacle I wanted. 8 out of 10. Didn't feel bad about it until I got in my car. Interesting. Should have taken the franchise in a different direction. Make the Clone Wars type TV show, perhaps. Interesting. Do you think the sequels to this film will take a long time to make? If that's the case, why ever plan the other ones? No, I think the third one will come out pretty quick. I think the third one's mostly shot. if not completely shot. Makes movies 2 hours and 30 minutes or less again. I know. Kendall, I hear you, brother. I really do. Should we see Avatar 1 before seeing the sequel? Absolutely. Avatar 1 is a better movie. Like, I'm just going to say it. Like, Avatar 1 is a better movie. 3.5 hours waiting for someone to die. It was the same film. It's pretty similar. What do you think have done to make the movie better? I would say, like, grander scale. I also just don't know that I understand the fundamental thing that pushes... like, here's the thing. Because he is now a dad, instead of just fighting, he chooses to hide to protect his family. But that's stupid because we end up getting to the point where they've got to fight anyway. You know what I mean? So I think that is a fundamental choice that holds the film back. I also think that without like a very big scale, like at the end of Avatar, they're gathering all the fucking tribes, all of them, and it's a massive battle. You know what I mean? And even though the battle is sort of relegated to, you know, that team trying to bomb the tree, they go all the way to the human base, completely take it over, and kick these bitches off the planet. So it's like really big in scale. This film felt too small for me. Like, the big fight is the fishing village stopping the whalers and the Avatar Marines. That's just not enough. Like, for me personally, like, I think that if it had just been much bigger in scale, because even like the clone thing, it's so compelling, but the film does a disservice by just making this a run-of-the-mill thing. You know what I mean? And the clone itself, even though he has this conflict about the spider character, there's not enough like identity crisis. I don't know. Like, it just doesn't use the tools in the best way, in my opinion. Oh, and Natiri got sidelined in this movie. Kind of sad. Yeah, but she was incredible in the final battle for sure. Was this, as a product, worth the billions it took to make it? I don't think so. What are your hopes for Avatar 3? That it will actually be fucking epic in scale. And at this point, it has to be, because like they've got, like, the Sky people are just coming in hard, right? And they've got to actually like fight now. So that's kind of what I was hoping for. Okay, I'll end that Q&A. All right, now we got to get into something. And again, these are all just opinions, guys. We're all just chilling here. By the way, the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker are trending right now. Anybody want to guess why the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker are trending right now? Anybody got a guess? Anybody in the chat have a theory about this? Anybody? Bueller? Anybody? Okay. Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. My time to shine, hello. Very reliable scooper and insider. Very, 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 verily reliable scooper and insider. So the deal is, Henry Cavill done, Ben Affleck done, Gal Gadot done, sorry, Ezra Miller done, Ray Fisher done, Zachary Levi done, Jason Momoa will get a new role, James Gunn wife stays, The Suicide Squad, what's left of it, stays, Viola Davis stays. By the way, The Rock is done also. Let's just click through to her profile and see. Ooh, dude, she's so close. When she gets to 100K, she's doing a real juicy scoop. I'm excited for that shit. So Rock done, all these guys done, and Viola Davis is gonna stay as well. Now, here's the thing, man. Like, I'm sorry, guys. I don't think I can do this. Like, I was even talking to because I had heard, maybe we even talked about this last week, right? Because we did the we did the Diamond Lounge stream. It was great. Thank you for everybody that was there. We had a good time, and I was even sort of hinting that, like, yeah, I've heard he might actually keep them. I can't. I couldn't believe it. I kind of still can't believe it. Like, I kind of still can't believe it, and I'm like kind of holding out hope that it's not true. Okay? But I was even talking to Elisa about this over the weekend, and I was like, do you think it would be wrong if Gunn keeps, like, his wife and Peacemaker and all of that shit? Do you think it would be wrong if I just completely walked away from DC coverage, right? Because I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't think I can support the DCU if he actually does this. And despite all the drama of last week, and despite, whatever, happened between he and I've been saying, like, no, like, I actually support the idea and the concept of a DCU reboot. I support that idea. But a partial reboot that keeps all of his shit and gets rid of characters like Gal Gadot, like Henry Cavill, that's absurd. Like, that's absurd. So you're going to soft reboot and keep all of your shitty stuff and get rid of the stuff that is so beloved by fans? Like, dude, I'm not even trying to be that fucking rude about it, but, like, the Suicide Squad bombed. His fucking Peacemaker show did not get watched. Like, it had lower numbers than Miss Marvel. Like, what are we doing here? Viola Davis, who's in the Black Adam movie with fucking Henry Cavill and James Gunn's wife, you want to keep parts of that but not the rest? What? And I'm just being completely honest, man. If this is true, I'm out. Like, I'm 100% out. Maybe, like, best case scenario, if it happens, and maybe we start hearing incredible things about his Superman movie, and it's the fucking dopest shit you've ever heard, and like, whoa, the slate looks crazy, and oh, it's absolutely incredible. Maybe I would give it a shot, and if it's really good, I would actually cover it. But guys, if this is true, I'm out. I can't. Like, I'm not going to cover it. I'm not going to talk about, the hype or whatever. It's fucking, that's what James wants anyways. He doesn't want us talking about rumors and speculation. Dude, you win. I'm out. I'll never talk about that shit ever again. Literally. And I know that, maybe that seems petty or maybe that seems crazy and maybe some of you guys are upset about it. But I'm just telling you right now, I have made the decision. If he keeps his own shit and kills off all the other shit, I am 100% out. Done with DC. Done. So, I guess I would like to know where you guys are at with this. And also, if you think I'm being totally unfair here, which is your right to think, that's absolutely cool. Will you still support the DCU if Gunn keeps his toys? Like, let's do it. Let's go to the polls. Like, bro, I'll never make another video about it. I'll never stream about it. And I don't have a nerd theory podcast where I'll sort of like half in, half out do it like I did with Star Wars. Like, fucking completely, totally done. I don't give a fuck. I'm out. It's crazy. Like, I'm still holding out hope that it's not true. I really, really hope it's not true. But some really reliable people are saying it's true. Like, and then, like, I saw some people on Twitter being like, but dude, Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad are like the best shit in the world. Bro, you can have it. You can have it. It's all yours. I'm out. Like, you can have it, bro. I'm out, dog. like 100%. So we'll hopefully know within a month. Again, I'm holding out hope that it's not true. I don't want it to be true. Please don't let it be true. If it is true, I will not cover DC. And I hope you understand. I hope you understand. You don't have to, of course. You can be triggered by it. You can go, follow other content creators that will cover the DCU. Totally cool. Understood. No problem. But, yeah, no way, bro. Not for me. I'm out. So, as it currently stands, it's at, basically, I mean, it's pretty close. Some people will, like 43% of people say they will still support it. 57% say no. What about covering Guardians of the Galaxy 3? I'll cover Guardians of the Galaxy 3. It's his, it's his last hurrah. It's his last kind of thing with Marvel, and I like those characters a lot. I don't hate James Gunn. I've said this a lot, but maybe it gets misconstrued. I don't have animus towards James Gunn. I've never been a big fan of his work, right? And his tone, right? I mean, I said the Suicide Squad was fun, but it's too silly. I told y'all I didn't like Peacemaker at all. It's too James Gunn. I think the second Guardians film is way too fucking James Gunn, and the first movie is way better. But I've never thought he was a shitty dude or I mean, he is a weirdo, but I've never thought oh, this is a bad guy. He's trying to do bad things. But this would just be a fucking L, bro. This is nepotism I've never seen. Henry Cavill's too old, but my wife gets to stay. What? Ridiculous, to be completely honest with you. And so, we'll see, man. It sucks because I was really hopeful. How many of you guys were there? When we did the emergency stream? Throw one into the chat. The day it was announced that James Gunn was taking over. How many of you guys were there? And I was so positive about that shit. I was so positive about it. And I even said, I don't like his work, but he's a big old sweaty nerd. He knows the comic book characters way better than a lot of people do over at Warner Brothers. So I'm excited and I'm hopeful. I think a reboot, a full-on reboot, is the best option. It's the best option. I still believe that. It's the best option. But whatever the fuck this is, this half-in, half-out bullshit, miss me with that. Miss me. I'm out. And so I just wanted to bring that up. Whew. And, yeah, man, I just make mine Marvel. I don't think I can't fuck with that shit anymore. I can't fuck with it anymore. Okay. Let's get into the Q&A. Talk about, go over some soupy chats, go over some member chats. And then we'll hang out in the chat a little bit as well. Finto182, first in today, 20 months as a membership, said, try to get tickets this weekend. Gone and literally couldn't get tickets to any of the showings in IMAX here in Ireland. So said I would wait because it needs to be seen properly. Take my money. Yeah. And that's actually fair. And it's part of the reason why the movie might still do very, very well. It seems like a lot of people couldn't get on a premium screen and chose to wait. And there's no spoilers really for the film. So you could see people just choosing to go out the following week or 2 weeks from now or whatever, right? So I still think that Avatar could still crush. I just can't help but say I don't know, man. I just don't know if it has. I don't know if it'll actually get that word of mouth. Purple Funk says, 1 year ago, we were hyped for Spider-Man No Way Home, watching for Papa Feige on the porch cam. It's been a great year of nerdy content. Love this community. Thank you so much, Purple. I appreciate that love, man. Mandalore says, coming up on diamond level soon, son. Good morning, man. You sexy, beautiful son of a gun, you bald, beautiful son of a gun, you. How was your weekend? Did you catch Theory's stream last night? No, he said on Instagram he was going to go live, and then I kept looking for his stream, and then I didn't see it. But apparently he was playing games with the fans or whatever. That's cool. That's cool. My weekend was good, though. Saw Avatar. I still had a great time. Yeah, and just kind of kicked it yesterday. Got some cool stuff done. Jared says, the story felt kind of meh, but the experience of Avatar 2 was unreal. Kept getting Hot D vibes with the kids' banter, but the whale stole the show. The whale stole the show for sure. There was a moment before they explained how intelligent the whales were where I was like, what is happening right now? Where I was like, what the butt? What the fuck? But then they sort of explained that they're smarter than even humans. And I was like, oh, okay. Mo from the boat with a $10 holla says, it's a shame I go to the movies at least once a week and people just aren't going anymore. Black Adam, Wakanda Forever, even Avatar wasn't full. By the way, Kiri doesn't have a father. Immaculate birth, daughter of Awa. Absolutely. I think that's the play. That's why I was saying like Anakin or whatever. So yeah, I agree with you. And look, dude, shit's just different. Like consumer behavior is just different, you know? And there's a lot of different things operating here, but at the end of the day, like people just don't feel the same draw to go to the movie theater. So Vora says, hey mate, hope you, Elisa, and Liam have a great Xmas. Here's some money for you and the fam. Keep the change, you filthy animal. Much love. Oh man, I really appreciate that. Little side note about this. Did you know that scene where he says, keep the change, you filthy animal? Did you know that's not actually a movie? That is not a movie. They shot that for that film. Did you know that? Isn't that kind of cool? Ravs says, hey, Josh, have you watched The White Lotus? It's a good show that feels like it's gone under the radar. No, I've heard of it a little here and there, but no, I have not watched it, actually. Maybe we'll check it out. Mike O, member for 29 months? Holy shit. Thanks for the support, man. Says it's levels to the 3D. Dolby 3D was goated, so if you did not see it, that was a miss. Okay, I hear you, brother. I hear you, but I think the thing that's frustrating to me, and I definitely understand what you're saying, is why are there not more premium screens if the movie is so sort of positioned to need or to leverage that technology, and it's also seen as this big thing that's supposed to help theaters, then why haven't theaters like supported this idea? And I think the reason is because like 3D never thrived. Avatar, the first one, was incredible, and then there was a lot of 3D after that. But the reason it didn't thrive is because people don't really like it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people don't want to wear the glasses the whole time. It's straining on the eyes. I will say, here's what I think about 3D. After about a half hour, your brain mostly shuts the 3D off. You don't even get to experience it the whole time because the brain just kind of deletes it. Like, it really only works for about a half hour. So, I get what you're saying. I just think there's a mismatch of like, what are we really doing here? Matthew says, maybe I am fickle, but an overhyped, mediocre movie is so cringe. Oh, dude, you're a hater. You're a motherfucking hater. BK Dan says, Avatar, almost 3 hours and 50 minutes with trailers and commercials. Yeah. Gaddy says, first super chat as a nerd Venger. Thought movie was good, but it's weird how unlike Star Wars and Marvel, many don't remember the events of the first going in. Interesting. I mean, 13 years. That's a pretty big gap. You know what I mean? Matthew says, as a D23 member, we were all gifted a free ticket to Avatar. How will this affect box office totals? Much love. Oh, that's interesting. I don't expect much at all. It's possible that free ticket is still even calculated in some way, shape, or form. And also usually like I'm just going to probably guess that you did more than just go with your free ticket, right? You probably went with other people bought tickets, etc. So, yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it's really going to affect it that much. Drew Smith says, a better nap, The Batman or Avatar 2? I think The Batman is a better nap, but the best nap is Andor. I mean, if you can put Andor on and not fall asleep, I mean, you've got some willpower for sure. John says, thoughts on Avatar 3's rough cut being 9 hours? What is he filming? James needs a fat nap. The Batman and Top Gun Maverick were better experiences, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, who the fuck is this guy? 9 hours? That's 2 movies. That's like 3 movies, bro. Like, what are we doing here? Yeah, I don't know. We'll see, man. That's fucking wild. 9 hours? I won't even take I don't even want to take a trip that's 9 hours, even if it's to go somewhere incredible. Like, I'm like, do we really need to go on this trip? Jensen Baker, remember for a year, says, yay, 1 year. Haven't watched Avatar 2 yet, but I hope to when it streams. There you go. There you go. Let me know what you think after you see it. Finto follows up and says, to be honest, if Gunn's wife has to stay in the DC, I'd prefer to stay in her current role rather than the rumors of her being Wonder Woman. Terrifying. Dude, there ain't no way she's Wonder Woman. Like, I think my time is just, like, trolling with that one. I mean, but then again, the fucking nepotism seems to be on another level. So, yeah. Yeezy Fashizi says, can you see Cameron say Thanos CGI can't compare it to Avatar 2? Yeah, I just don't see that. Like, there are moments in Avatar that are truly mind-blowing, and you're like, wow, like, that's really freaking cool. But I would argue there's, like, mind-blowing shit with Thanos, too. I don't really see it as, like, a actual, like, way better. Like, Avatar 2 is way better. Like, I didn't personally see that. Chris B says, bro, can you tell me why the Water Tribe uses torches at the funeral? LOL. Love the movie, but it's little things like that that make it meh. Sequel. Much love. I don't really know what to tell you on that one, man. I guess for me, I'm just more concerned with, like, to me, it just seems like, why would Jake try to run, and especially after he knows they're onto him? Like, what's he gonna do? Like, what? I don't understand. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. Brandon says, is Theory on for tonight? Melvin? Question mark. Yeah, Nerd Theory should be on. And I mean, I guess Melvin's coming on. I don't know. Like, I asked Theory about it. He didn't give me a straight answer. So I assume Melvin's coming on, and we'll see. I mean, maybe it'll be absolutely crazy. Maybe it'll be fine. I watched the video last night that Melvin did, like, about me, and I actually thought it was really fair. I don't really consume Melvin's content, but it's also possible that, like, he's sort of turning a new leaf or trying to be better. You know what I mean? Which would be cool. So we'll see. Ted says, happy holidays to you and your sweaties. Thank you so much, Ted. Appreciate it. Miss Spiro says, heard there is Invincible Season 2 news next month. Can't wait. Oh, hell yeah, bro. I'm excited for Invincible Season 2. That shit's going to be hype. So if we get some news about that, that would be very, very exciting. RG2088, $10 Holla, very generous, says, like I said last week, because of Peacemaker, I think the Snyderverse will be phased out. Because he already said months ago Peacemaker was safe. Having different Earths could be interesting. Ah, man, I mean, look, first of all, you know, I'm totally and genuinely glad if you're excited for it. I can't be. So, I'm assuming you liked Peacemaker, and maybe, like, that's really cool, and you're like, yo, let's go, like, that would be awesome. But literally, the Snyderverse characters are in fucking Peacemaker. So I'm just like, what? Like, I don't get it, brother, and I really don't like it. But, regardless, I appreciate the support. Noah says, I would honestly be shocked if James Gunn also rebooted his stuff. True, it didn't receive big numbers, but Peacemaker was pretty great. Oh, man. That's just crazy to me. Like, I believe you. Like, I know that you feel that way. To me, that's fucking crazy, bro. Like, that's fucking crazy. Like, the fact that people might, like, think that it's a good move for him to reboot all of these big characters and then just try to keep his shit intact. Like, I don't know how that's, like, I'm struggling with, like, how you could see that as a good move. Like, just from the business perspective, that's fucking crazy, dude. Like, I think it's insanity. Parker says, bro, go see Puss in Boots 2 this weekend as a palate cleanser. Worked on it, and I'm super proud of how it turned out. I've heard it's actually incredible. A lot of people are very hyped up on that movie, too. H. Chris says, did anyone see Josh switching the Star Wars and DC takes? I mean, I didn't see it happening, but alas. Here we are. Jared N says, loved Avatar. Length definitely hurts rewatchability. If there was a 2 hours and 40 minutes, I would see it more than one times. 3D meh, but cool once every 10 years. Den of Goats. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Evan says, sup, Josh? You see the KK thing? I DM'd you on Twitter. I did. That's fucking hilarious. But also probably not appropriate to share, you know what I mean? Drew Smith, the $5 Holla, says, what if James Gunn's stuff isn't connected to the DCU, just like Batman 2 and Joker 2? Then we're right back in the piss-poor, absolute shit situation that we've been in for the 5 or 6 years. What is the point of rebooting if you're not trying to get rid of all of the baggage? The reboot should be letting go of all of the baggage, the baggage, and allowing fans to maybe let that shit go and embrace what could be new. But if it's reboot for some, but not for others, you're bringing all of that baggage to the new shit. I think it's incredibly stupid. Like, mind-blowingly dumb. Brain dead. That's my opinion, but that's how I feel. Like, strong. That's a strong no from me. That's gonna be a no from me, dog. Strong no. Strong no. So let me ask you guys this. Are you guys gonna be mad if I don't cover DC now? Are you guys gonna be mad at me if I don't cover DC? I can't super chat because I need money for crack. I understand. It's the holidays. Yeah. A lot of people are like, nah. Exactly, bro. We had like a small window of covering DC again. I'll always be mad at you. Amen. Cheers. Yeah. No, just cover the DC comics. I mean, they are rebooting next year, the DC comics, so maybe it'll be dope. I just want to hear you talk shit about DC. Heard that. Won't be mad, but I think there will be some good content to come out of the new DC. Yeah, I mean, maybe, for sure. You're too woke. Oh, dude, yeah, for sure. No, you said the same thing about Star Wars. That's true, but now we're like, dude, bro. Y'all been hearing about these fucking Ahsoka leaks, bro? You'll be back? Damn it, Beyonder! I hate that you're probably right. Like, I want to like go full on like, no, fuck that. But you might be right. You might be right. Joey Ebb says, now that Star Wars is popping off again, FDC. Oh, hell yeah, man. Leon says, I had a discussion with some people on Twitter who said it's irresponsible for you not to cover things when your audience is here for it. Thoughts? There's a measure of truth in that. But, you know, like I tried to explain with the Star Wars situation, is I don't want to make AdSense money off of hate. That's not my thing. There are people that do that, and you know what? God bless them. You know, Bob's your uncle. That's not what I want to do. So with the Star Wars thing, I was like, I'm not going to make a video shitting on Andor every single week or talking about how much I hate it. And so instead, I'll check out. And you know what? Melvin's video is really fair about it. He brings up a lot of like really interesting points about how you would think that the people that claim to hate when YouTubers make money off hating things would support my decision to walk away. You know? Now, I think it's a little gray because, of course, I still did Nerd Theory. And, of course, I would put out a couple of tweets here and there that, like, people would, like, their fucking minds would explode. But I generally think, like, that is a situation where I didn't want to do a net gain of, you know, hatred and toxicity. And it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough for them. You know? Mandalore says, did you catch the trailer for 65? Adam Driver's new movie with dinosaurs and light airs. And lights airs. Wait, what? Lights airs? What are you talking about, bruh? Bro, what the fuck's a light airs? What are you talking about, bruh? But yeah, the 65 trailer is cool. The Oppenheimer trailer is cool too. Andor is great, you dumb nerd. I mean, there you go. There you have it. There had to be some of you in here. Ah, yes, the Andor haters. Look, I hate the show, but I don't think that people are dumb for liking it. That's the big difference between me and the people that defend Andor. I don't think you're dumb for liking it. I understand why you like it. I mean, I think it has redeeming qualities. All right, meaning all right with not watching. Oh, okay. Kevin DeBolt, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You are a Nerd Venger now. Hey, Josh, my Namor Funko Pop got delivered yesterday. Thank you so much. Scuba King. I appreciate you, brother. I'm glad it came before Christmas. I hope Ahsoka is a spiritual experience. Oh, bro, I'm all in on Ahsoka. Like, whew, I'm all in. I was fine with you hating Andor. I'm fuming about you being lukewarm on Avatar: The Way of Water. I understand, Mas, I understand, but here's the problem. I can't lie. And I'm not really good at pretending. Like, I'm not especially live. Especially when I'm in a live streaming setting. It's very difficult for me. Like, some people can do it. Like, some people can feel a certain way, but yet project in a way that's a little more open to all. You know what I mean? I can't do that. I liked Avatar too, but that shit ain't that hype. Like, that's what it's fucking, what do you fucking, you know, what do you want? What do you want me to, Mandalore, lightsabers, need some coffee. Oh, it's all good. It's all good, man. Caitlin says, bro, Andor was so mid, but question, what didn't you like about Peacemaker? By the way, big fan, love your content. So Peacemaker is just a little too James Gunn for me, you know, and that's what I said before. And like, it's good. It almost feels like Adult Swim content or, you know, like one of those kind of situations. To me, that's not my flavor of DC. It's not really what I like about DC. And I've never really been that into like James Gunn's version of that. You know, some of that kind of stuff I like even, okay, so for instance, the Harley Quinn show. Everybody loves the Harley Quinn show. I can acknowledge that the Harley Quinn show does a lot of funny things that like people like, and you know, that it has its audience, etc. It's just not for me. Like, I don't like that. I don't even really like Deadpool, bro. Like, I don't read Deadpool. Like, I've read some Merc with the Mouth, and I think he's good here and there. But like, those movies are really good, but like, I can't sit there and watch shotgun jokes just after and after and after, right? It's just not my flavor. Like, I like crazy cool, heroic, like epic shit or very cerebral shit. You know what I mean? So, Mitchell Lawless with a $5 holla says, personally, I'd rather you cover Star Wars than DC. So if you stopped covering it, I wouldn't be mad. Much love, Josh. You the man. Hey, thank you, Mitchell. I appreciate that. And I'm quite excited about what's coming for Star Wars next year, man. Sozin says, Ahsoka show will be what Avatar 2 was supposed to be. It will be a big spectacle and have crazy implications for the future. Dude. Oh, and I'm hoping that's what we'll talk about a lot tonight on Nerd Theory, because like, I'm so excited and it's so cool. Like, you know, Theory and I have been doing the show for like 2+ years, and I think some of the best shows are when we're like riffing and we're actually excited and we're speculating and we're getting hyped up about stuff. It's just the unfortunate fact that I think Star Wars has held a lot of L's over the past year, and so it's been difficult to try to be authentic and also positive. Obviously, I have not been positive on Star Wars. I acknowledge that. But I am quite excited about this Filoni shit, man. I'm hoping Dave comes in and just gives us like I want people to walk away from Ahsoka and literally be like, wow, I didn't even know that that's what I needed, but this is what I need now, and Star Wars just has to be this now. Like, that's what I want. And am I getting overhyped? I mean, what do you guys think? Am I getting overhyped? Am I building myself up for disappointment? Is it going to be a year from now where I'm like, fucking Dave, you let me down, Dave, no, you know? Am I setting myself up for disappointment? You tell me, chat. That's never happened before. Joshua L. Smith says, from one Josh to another, Merry Holidays. My wife and I are completely not into Peacemaker. So if that's how DC goes, solid meh from us. Well, I appreciate you, Josh. Appreciate the support, man. Good name. And yeah, I can't blame you. I can't blame you, dude. Nah, hype is Nah, the hype is foreplay, the best part. Nice. Dave is handling this like a newborn. It'll be fine. I agree with you. Avatar was amazing. Jay, what up, bro? I mean, I'm sure you've probably seen my take, but Jay, I like it. Wasn't blown away by it, brother. Wasn't blown away by it. But it did make me cry. You know, it did make me cry. There was a particular scene in Avatar that's so personal to me. So personal to me. And I was just like, damn. You know what I mean? She-Hulk was more creative and better than Peacemaker. Bro, you might be right. And She-Hulk was buttholes. So, another boomer, Josh. Yeah. I know. I still love all aspects of Star Wars. Sorry, I want it all. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. You are like a baby. We will teach you about the ways of water. I did like that line. I forgot about She-Hulk. Oh, fuck. No, just forget about it again. You know, if I was Kevin Feige, I'd be literally trying to invent the Mission Impossible technology, or no, the Men in Black technology, and do like at San Diego Comic-Con next year, we're all like super fucking hyped up, and he just comes out and he's like, Pshoo! And then we're all like, what? Phase 4 was amazing. I can't wait to see if they ever bring She-Hulk in. That's what I'd be doing if I were him. Josh, correct me if I'm wrong, but you didn't finish Peacemaker, right? No, I didn't finish Peacemaker, no. She-Hulk was worse than that Miles Teller Fantastic Four. She-Hulk is horrible. Jake Levin says, hey, Josh, just wanted to say happy belated, and it's Liam's first Christmas. So exciting. Keep up the good work, homie. I appreciate you, man. I really do. Thank you. I do think they dropped Avatar in the right time with every other studio a mess right now. That's fair. I think that's a fair take. Yeah. Peacemaker was worse than every MCU TV show. I mean, Peacemaker is just a very specific genre. And, you know, you're either into it or you're not. And I mean, look, it just didn't do big numbers. Like, that's all there is to that. It did not do big numbers. You know what I mean? Can we talk about Diego Luna as Reed rumor? Sure. Let's end on this. Let's end on this. Because, again, I have a big video coming out about all the Fantastic Four stuff. Some of it has to do with the casting. Some of it has to do with the plot. And I gathered, because there's been a lot of little things that came out over the past couple of weeks. So I gathered all of it into a really big video. I think you guys are going to like it. But let's talk about Diego as Reed Richards. Oh, thanks, Jay. You know what? Let me just say something really kind about Jay. Even though, you know, he said that I had a face for radio and he used a 5-year-old photo of me to make it look bad. And even though I've been looking at myself in the mirror recently and been like, damn, I'm really getting fat. I'll say one thing about Jay. Jay was maybe one of the only people from his circles that actually even mentioned me by name. Some of these people with, like, you know, much larger platforms and et cetera, sort of worked around even mentioning me. So as much as I was like, damn it, Jay, I'm better looking than you, motherfucker, you got to give the man credit. Some of his people wouldn't even mention me. And Jay did that. You know what I mean? So I got a lot of love for Jay. He knows it, but I want you guys to know it too. Okay, let's talk about Diego. First of all, can you see it? Let's go to the polls. First of all, can you see it? By the way, I am going to try to actually get in shape next year because, like, I totally know that the dad bod thing is like, it's fucking happening, bro. You know, and I'm not doing a good job of fighting against it. So we'll figure that out in the new year. Yeah. So this one's tricky, man. Thanks, Jay. This one's tricky here, guys, because Isaac Gonzalez, I could see it. I could even see Diego as Reed. But the thing I'm kind of struggling with is Reed and Sue both being Hispanic. Now, before you freak out, before you run, before everybody freaks the fuck out, you know, chill out. Let me explain myself. If Sue's Hispanic you would think Johnny would have to be Hispanic, right? I don't know if they're going to do the adoption thing again. If Sue and Johnny are Hispanic and Reed's Hispanic, I don't know how you do that without injecting a racial element into the story. Okay? Am I making sense here? Like, you could absolutely have, like, I don't inherently think there's anything wrong with race bending, gender bending. But I think, like, for instance, if you bend Magneto from a Jewish man to a black man, you have to then inject some racial element of being a black man into the character to make up for the lack of being a Jewish man and surviving the Holocaust, etc., etc. From the perspective of character, if you change certain characters, you can't just change them. You have to actually explain it. You have to inject a racial element into the actual story. Okay? Now, even that, I'm not like completely and wholly against, but what are you going to do with the Jewish Ben Grimm? You know what I mean? And then it starts to just become weird when you try to like make sense of it all. And you're like, okay, so how is this all going to happen organically in the fucking 60s? And on top of that, Diego, I think, is just a hard sell as Reed. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's possible. It could work. It could be incredible. But I do feel like that's just kind of like an odd choice to make, right? Like, frankly, like, I'd rather have just Reed be Hispanic, or I'd rather have Johnny and Sue be Hispanic. And then that doesn't require any injection of some, other crazy thing that's going on. I don't know. That's just my take. You can hate it. You can like it. For me, it's just a little odd, And it seems like 64% of people just in this chat do not see Diego Luna as Reed Richards, right? Because it's like, even with a character like Giancarlo Esposito, like, I can see him as Professor X. I can see Denzel Washington as Magneto. He evokes similar feelings. He has that same kind of demeanor. You know what I mean? I just don't know if it's a fit with Diego. Like, I don't get that sense from Diego of like Reed. Do you know what I'm saying? So, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. And I think we'll know soon. I think that they're obviously working with a lot of different people and trying to figure it out. I have a big video breaking it all down later. Galactus stuff, Silver Surfer stuff. Oh, man, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun one. So make sure you check that out. All right, everybody. We're going to call it there. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Ah, man. Another good one. Interesting topics. A lot of variety of opinion. Yeah, man. Good stuff. I appreciate you. Tomorrow, we're going to react to a new video by Rob, Geek Culture Explained, something he's been working on for some time. I'm excited. We'll get into that. Maybe we'll watch some other videos as well. Should be a really good week. Christmas week. I'm excited. Much love to y'all, man. Much love. That's going to do it for me. And as I always say, you make sure you open up that third eye. And you make sure you wash out your stinky butt. One love.